9 things 99.99% of Warbroker players don't know. Now, if you're wondering, did I just fall for clickbait? Well, there's only one way to find out. Keep in mind, if I seem bad at this game, it's probably because I used a trackpad exclusively. Why do you think this channel is called Trackpad FPS Guy? Maybe it's just a coping mechanism when I have a bad match. In that case, I can just blame the controller. Number 1. Launching yourself with the RPG. Now, if this seems familiar, then you probably played Team Fortress 2.
Crouching and shooting all at the exact same time. If you do it right, you should be able to fly up high into the air.
Intuitively, the concussion grenade can also be used for jumping. However, most people don't know that the RPG can be used for this as well. I've been called a hacker by someone with literally RPG in their username. This definitely was not my primary motivation for making this video. But as you've seen here, while it can be considered a glitch or unintended, there's no shady business involved. In theory, you could get this to work with grenades. I couldn't figure out how to get this working. I've seen people get boosted into the air by enemy grenades. Still, I don't recommend it, especially if you're a beginner, because of the damage these grenades deal. If you got other games where you love to do these rocket jumps, let me know in the comments below. Number 2. The RPG damages players. This should be pretty obvious, especially if you watched the video up to this point. RPG is one of my favorite weapons because of its versatility, and we'll see this again and again in this video. I'd love to hear what your favorite weapons are in the comments below. However, I bet you many players don't know the difference between the homing missile and RPG on players, not vehicles, players. Despite how big the homing missile is, it doesn't actually damage players. In close range, the RPG can deal almost instantaneous damage, knocking this unlucky player off the tower. Needless to say, the RPG is also a ranged weapon that can not just kill vehicles, but also potentially kill players on low health or maim them severely. Number 3. Mines can be easily disarmed. Most players will use consumables such as grenades, concussion grenades to deal with mines. However, in many cases, you can just shoot at a mine behind the wall to detonate it. Now, one major downside is that you need a lot of ammunition, and you'll probably show up on the HUD. I'm not 100% sure if using consumables is silent. If anyone knows, please leave it in the comments below. As a side note, you can also use RPGs to disarm the mine. Number 4. Mines can damage more than just players. Some players might know from intuition that these mines can damage vehicles and blow them up. In this newly added map Cologne, it's pretty useful, and you can plant them on fridges. And as we'll see very shortly here, this unlucky guest XXXXX is going to get blown up after my RPG softens them up, of course. However, something that most players don't know is that in the Somme, you don't actually ever have to give up your number 2 slot for an RPG to deal with turrets. You simply just plant the mine under the turret and it'll blow up. I'm not exactly sure how the devs program this, but maybe it's because the turrets are considered as vehicles, and so, yeah, I mean, here are 3 examples. Very clearly, you just plant the mines under them and they'll blow up. In many cases, you might die doing this, but it's very unlikely it's due to the turret. Now, I kind of like to go in front of the turret gun and do an in-your-face, but that's not really necessary. If you're wondering why the quality is so poor, it's because my computer can't handle the Twitch streaming. And as you see here, it messed up. Somehow locked me out of the game. I closed all the windows, I still couldn't get back, and I was killed. Number 5. Bots are extremely predictable. In the office map, if you spawn in the garage area, you can place the mines here, or on the stairs. The crossbowing of the bots. I think this was a real player, but the point is, this is a choke point, and this can be extremely useful on these matches where there are not a lot of players, and it can make the difference between winning and losing. Mines are OP because they're basically the only non-consumable consumable. What I mean by that is you're limited to 2 deployed at any time, but there's no limit on how many traps you can set. So, on the other hand, if you were to spawn on the subway area and you wanted to bomb the garage bots, let's call them that, you would just do this and you would just keep repeating the process. And you would just profit. So the behavior of the bots is that they basically walk in a straight line without paying much attention to you. And that's, I think, something a lot of players don't know, is that oftentimes there are 2 bots on each team. Occasionally, you'll be matched with somebody who's actually smart, and you see we had to kill him here, but generally, you can win the game pretty easily. Now, is this completely shameless? No, but if you want to win the game, I mean, bots are easily exploitable. Now, as a word of caution, if somebody shoots the mine, it's going to explode. This is pretty obvious, but what you might not know is that even if the laser hasn't appeared, enemy fire can still detonate the mine. So you want to be really careful. And I also just include this part because I killed Deebs, but I died. Number 6. You can hear other players climb ladders. If you're listening carefully there, you'll notice that you can hear yourself climb the ladder. Audio balancing on this is crap, so this is a good chance you weren't able to listen for it. But regardless, a lot of people might not realize how useful it can be to be able to hear other players climb ladders. And it allows you to kind of get the anticipation and upper hand. Basically be ready to fire that crossbow bolt before they have the chance to react visually. Number 7. if you look carefully and we're paying attention to the time on the scoreboard, you would see that for some reason it started ticking down by 4 instead of 1. So the seconds were essentially four times faster. Now I thought this was a glitch in my video because, you know, my streaming quality is so crap, but no, I actually experimented this multiple times on Poom, and what I found out is yes, once you reach about 20 points more, the game will start to get 4 times faster. Now I always wondered, why were games ending so short? And I've also felt this phenomenon in other modes such as Capture the Point and Package Drop. If you had similar experiences and maybe know exactly how these mechanics work, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Number 8, you can cook grenades. Maybe I was just a noob, but I didn't know this for the longest time. Now, I started playing War Brokers around 2017-2018, and I only learned how to cook a grenade a little over a year ago. Now, as you can tell, I'm running out of interesting things to say. This is getting more clickbaity. Number 9, the duck gives you a speed boost. I think it's about 15% according to the wiki, but I think I will leave this more to the audience, and I'm not the expert here. I don't even know if you can really run in the game, I've just been walking the whole time. And also, do you really need to quack the duck to get the boost? I'm not sure. That does give your position away. And so please leave in the comments below if you know more about the mechanics. That's all. Remember to use trackpads only. This is the way.